Welcome to Trading Nation. Let's trade Tesla. The stock down on Wednesday after a fairly bearish analyst note rattling some investors. KeyBank Capital Markets saying that they expect weaker than expected results and production for Model 3 in the fourth quarter. Stock down over 5% in the last week alone. Now overall back in bear markets. Boris Schlossberg of BK Asset Management, Dennis Davitt with Harvest Volatility Management. Boris, start with you. Model 3 production concerns, nothing new, but KeyBank rattling the markets a bit. Everyone just wants to know, is Tesla now a better deal because the price is less or a stock to be avoided?
I think that's the big question here is, like you said, production. Tesla needs to deliver Model 3. Its whole existence in many ways, I think, depends on that. The problem here isn't demand. They have so much demand. It's a question of supply. If they can get their production problems solved, everything else will flow smoothly afterwards. And I think the stock recovers tremendously. That's really the big question facing Tesla going forward.
Well, there's another question, too, Dennis, which is the cash flow and some debt payments coming up. What's your take on the option side or any side of Tesla for that matter?
Yeah, I mean, Tesla is the Taylor Swift of stocks nowadays. It's haters gotta hate. I've never seen a stock that people are so opposed to each other about if it's going to go up or down. The one thing, very good point that Boris makes, I like the stock here. I like buying a put spread on the stock. Going out to June, the $300, $250 put spread will cost you about $14 to protect you from some of the downdrafts you may see in this stock. Keep an eye on interest rates because you hit a key point about cash flow. So long as rates are low, these guys are going to be able to go out and find funding to keep production going in this sort of rate environment. As rates creep higher, that's going to be a concern for Tesla. Tesla is very linked to higher interest rates for all of the borrowing that they have on their debt, on their balance sheet.
Yeah.
However, if they meet those productions, the demand is, at the end of the day, I look at people and say, just take a ride in one. It's a great product.
It is, but Boris, we got to separate, to Dennis's point, he's making some very good points. You got to separate the car and the company and maybe your love of Musk from the stock, right? It's one of those moments in history where you say, maybe a great company makes a great stock, or maybe it doesn't. But they're different things, are they not?
I think my point is that they're inseparable at this point.
Oh, you believe they're the same?
It's the ultimate faith stock. You either are a believer in the Tesla product, the electric car, the revolution going forward, and everything else falls by the wayside because if they can just produce, all of those problems will go away. And if they don't, then yes, it becomes a very, very tough year.
But you don't believe there's one person out there driving a Tesla who doesn't like the stock? There's got to be somebody that says, great car, but I'm not a buyer of the stock for a variety of reasons.
Well, my point is that all the problems of the stock are intrinsically involved with the problem of the production. And if you can just, because the car, the product itself is so great, if you can just unleash it onto the populace and demand fills what it's supposed to fill, all of those problems will go away.
Yeah.
So in some ways, it's the ultimate faith stock. You have to just be a huge believer, and if you are, then it's probably a great buy here because it will recover.
Incredible story. Right. Go ahead, Dennis. Last word.
The one fly in the champagne I would throw into the Tesla love affair that we're having here is the semi-truck. If you talk to people who are in the trucking business, the biggest flaw with the semi-truck is the time to recharge the batteries. Semi-trucks need to move to make money. Sitting idle for 8 or 9 hours while batteries recharge is not necessarily the most efficient use of the capital spent to buy that truck. So it was an interesting point that a friend of mine brought up, that unless they can get that charging time down, getting big fleet sales of those trucks is going to be extremely difficult.
Or make a battery that swaps in and out very quickly. So they just come in and they swap the battery, and we'll see. All good points on a very hotly traded name. You're both right, certainly, on that point. Dennis and Boris, thank you very much. And folks, thank you, as always, for tuning in to Trading Nation.
Hey there, thanks for checking out CNBC on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe to stay up to date on all of the day's biggest stories. You can also click on any of the videos around me to watch the latest from CNBC. Thanks for watching.